about every game happened on Saturday, February 22nd. Only 5 games on Saturday, so it'll be a quick one. The first one is the Phoenix Suns beat the Chicago Bulls 121-117. Phoenix, they made a lineup change. Bradley Beal now is back in the starting lineup, so let's monitor Tyus Jones' minutes. He's already close to a drop anyway. He played 20 minutes, still had 6 assists and a steal. But if he's not starting, obviously he's not. We don't need to roster him. Bradley Beal had a big one, but again, this game was versus the Bulls. It doesn't say much. Their defense is not exactly top tier. 25 points for Beal, 3 threes. Devin Booker, 29 points, 8 assists, 4 threes. They all play fairly well. Same thing with KD, just super efficient again. Nick Richards, yeah, I think he's just playing with us. He played 9 minutes last game, I believe. Played 28 minutes here, 15 points and 10 rebounds. Yeah, he's just a streamer for some rebounds. That's really it. He doesn't really get that many block shots either. And then 3-and-D guys on this team, none of them played that well. Royce O'Neal popped off the game before this. Grayson Allen did not hit a 3. Actually, the Suns, they really needed this win. They really needed this win. They're right now 11th seed. And, well, now the good thing is the Spurs, they're out of the... I'm pretty sure they're really not trying. So as long as they just beat the Kings, I think they're gonna be all right. Because the Warriors, they got Jimmy Butler, they're gonna start winning some games. For Chicago, Lonzo had a rough one, 1 for 9, but he played 29 minutes. So he's gonna have games like this in category leagues. I think he's very, very valuable. He can bring assists, steals, blocks, threes. So I would hold on to him. Because the minutes is good. 30 minutes of Lonzo Ball is pretty good. Matas, meanwhile, only played 23 minutes, so I don't think he's a must roster. Unless Lonzo is out. AU Downsamu is also out this game, so yeah, he's not a must roster. He does have some upside. He's super loud, athletic, can block shots, right? Hit threes, as we see here. 15 points is still in block 3 threes, but I don't think he's a must roster. Vucevic, he's been coming down quite a lot, to be honest. 16 points, 11 rebounds in the last month. Now I'm just only going to look at the last month rankings because, the season has been long. He's a 98th ranked player in the last month. Yeah. He's not really performing at the level he was beginning of the season. And another concern with the Bulls is they're 10th seed right now, but they really have nothing to play for. So meanwhile, the Nets actually made around 7-3, while the Sixers, they lost 7 straight. This is crazy. With Embiid back. Well, Embiid, honestly, they're probably better without Embiid, to be honest. They won a couple games without Embiid, and without Paul George too. So it's they don't really play any, especially Embiid. He doesn't really play any defense. Josh Giddey, we'll get to him literally next game. Josh Giddey, 3 threes, 24 points. Josh Giddey, with the Zach LaVine trade, really helped his value. Won a game from him, 3 steals and a block, and he's going to be great for the rest of the season. And Kobe White, 20 points, 8 assists, and a steal with 2 threes, also played all right. The next one is the Brooklyn Nets. This is kind of a must-win situation for the Philadelphia Sixers. The Brooklyn Nets, they're clearly, they're just letting their young guys play. Right, they don't really have any playoff aspirations. Meanwhile, the Sixers, not only they need to make the playoffs, they need to make a deep playoff run. They got to compete for a championship, and they lost 7 straight. That is pretty wild. Consider they're at home. This is the must roster. This is the must win game because they're literally tied, and the tiebreaker also can make a big difference with 20 something games left. Not looking good. The Brooklyn Nets, Cameron Johnson, yeah, they play him 35 minutes. They're trying to win this game, I guess. 23 points, 3 steals, and 1 3 is good. Zaire Williams played 29 minutes. He's a stream player. Same thing with Keon Johnson. We could definitely stream him. Trenton Watford, also, he's a guy that we could stream. Especially with D'Lo out, but we just don't know how many minutes these guys gonna get, and somehow they started Killian Hayes. We remember Killian Hayes when he was back with Detroit Pistons. He's an assist and steals guy. and he's still doing it, 6 assists here, but he's pretty bad offensively. Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the roster, Claxton popped off with 5 blocks, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. I don't know how Brooklyn Nets, just like if you combine their salary, I don't know. The big three definitely make more than this whatever starting lineup they put up, and it's not even close. For the Sixers, Embiid, he's clearly, he's clearly dealing with a lot of injuries, right? 4 for 13 here. So I think the Sixers got to make a decision. If they lose a couple more games, they might just pound the season away and have Embiid out for season. So Embiid, one of the most disappointing draft picks in the first round for sure. Yeah, it's kind of cooked. He's just really injured. I don't think there's another way to say it. And if they lose a couple other games, why play Embiid? Why play Paul George? And why even play Tyrese Maxey, even though he's young? So all three of these guys, they might be, as we get to the end of the season, they're not gonna sit. If they're healthy, they're gonna play. But back-to-backs, right? All that, it's gonna happen. Especially Embiid, it's just they're gonna have him do surgery ASAP. I think that helped with Quentin Grimes, right? Because they have to play somebody. Quentin Grimes right now is a must roster. 5 assists, 2 steals, and 3 threes. He's playing well. He played 37 minutes. Yeah, he will be the one. And then I think Yabusele is another guy that if Embiid ever goes down, right? He played fairly well here, actually. 8 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Kelly Oubre Jr., if everybody's out, right, they're probably going to play him. And then maybe even Lonnie Walker, who knows? So, kind of monitor the Sixers situation. Like, Quentin Grimes could be a top 40 player, right? Averaging like 16, 17 points, 2, 3 threes. Kind of like a mini Trey Murphy. He got traded a couple of times already, from the Knicks. But I like him. Moving on to the next game, we have this is a big one. The LA Lakers, they beat Denver in Denver. Huge win for Luka and the Lakers and LeBron. Luka Doncic, 32 points, plus 20, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, and a block. Perfect from the free throw line. Hit 4 threes. Yeah. I mean, this is when Luka was with the Mavericks, right? This stat line is an average stat line for him. And then, this game, actually, everybody, like Austin Reeves chipped in 23 points, 7 assists. LeBron had 25 points, 5 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. If the Laker team, they figured out how to play with each other offensively and lock in defense, I mean, very, very scary. Very, very scary team in the playoffs. If you OKC, you don't want to play this team, 100%. So, yeah, the West is just super competitive. So Rui Hachimura needs to be rostered, in my opinion. Jackson Hayes too. And Rui Hachimura just be getting 35 plus minutes. I know he doesn't really do much, but he's going to be efficient. He's going to play a lot of minutes. Somehow he got 0 rebounds, but usually he'll get 5 or 6, hit a couple of threes, right? You're just going to get so many open shots when you're on the court. You just play defense and literally just focus on hitting shots. And then every once in a while, if you have open lane, you dunk it. That's it. Simple. So Rui is actually a perfect role for his perfect fit for the role. So they're going to play him a lot of minutes. So he needs to be rostered. And good to see Luka. I mean, let's see if he. I do think he's not going to put up the same level of numbers he was putting up on the Mavericks. But yeah, and also he was hurt for a while. So let's see if he can play himself back into game shape. For Denver Nuggets, I don't know what happened with Jokic this game. He only took 7 shots. Only 7 shots for Jokic. Still had a triple-double, but just very weird game from him. He had 6 turnovers. Jamal Murray had 19 points. Aaron Gordon, now he's back in the starting lineup. So they're going to have Russell Westbrook him off the bench, which makes sense, right? They don't want to stack Russell Westbrook and Jokic too much because, with Jokic off the floor, you have Russell Westbrook can come in and run the offense, which will be really great. So, but Russell Westbrook still needs to be rostered. He's had 17 points in 24 minutes. Nobody really played well on Denver, but Jokic again still got a triple double. The next game is the Houston Rockets lost to the Jazz. The Houston Rockets have been losing a few games. Losing to the Jazz is not ideal for sure on the road, even if it's on the road. And Amen Thompson, with Fred VanVleet out, he's really enjoyed. He's had a good game here, 22 points, 9 rebounds, and he's very efficient from the field. Not so much from the free throw line. Jalen Green, 25 points, 10 assists, 6 threes. Really good game offensively for him, but he needs to learn how to get to the free throw line. This is another thing. Like if you look at Shea, some of the best scorers in the game, they get to the line a lot. Just get those easy points, at least in the regular season. So Jalen Green, he just doesn't know how to get to the line. Emperor Şengün, he got 8 shots from the free throw line, only hit 4 of them. That's one of his biggest problems. He just can't hit free throws. But otherwise, the line looks pretty good. Jabari Smith goes 1 for 8. Is he a must roster? For now, we definitely could stream him, but when Fred VanVleet comes back, it will be interesting to see who loses minutes. Is it Jabari Smith or Amen Thompson? And then Tari Eason also did not play. So really bad loss for the Rockets. And then for the Jazz, they just surprise you sometimes. Walker Kessler, as long as the man plays 30 minutes, he's going to put up good numbers. 17 rebounds here and 2 blocks. That's what he does. Really good field goal, 5 for 5. Even though sometimes he doesn't really take any shots. Really good rebounder. And then block shots. He can definitely pop up with 5 block shots any game. He also had some foul trouble. But how about Isaiah Collier? Another game with 10 assists and a steal. Efficiency-wise, he meant Keontae George need to be rostered as well. No questions asked. I think have him come off the bench and have him not being the point guard have him play so much better. 30 points here, 5 threes. I think let's roster him, and he goes 5 for 10 from the free throw line. And Isaiah Collier also, I don't think it's going to happen every game. But when you roster these 2 guys, you're going to have to deal with bad field goal, right? Free throw, they're okay. This is a bad night and a lot of turnovers. But if you're counting those 2 categories, like those 2 guys are great. Especially Collier, just the assists. He's, top 5 in assists in the league, which is absolutely huge for category leagues. The last game of the night, this one was really ugly, to be honest. The Charlotte Hornets, they did have LaMelo. This Portland team, they're not bad. They're not a bad team. They're 24-33. Record-wise, they could actually make the playoffs in the East. And the teams that they play in the West, right, obviously are way tougher than the teams they play in the East. So it's like they're not a bad team. If you put them in the East, definitely not. LaMelo goes 1 for 10, 5 points. You just want him to be healthy and play because, Hornets, they have nothing to play for. Mark Williams, I'll be worried about him. It seems like Miles Bridges doesn't matter if they're punting or what. They're just going to play him because he doesn't get hurt. So with everything, it helps Miles Bridges. Another decent game with 3 threes, 2 steals, and a block with 17 points. And as the season gets to the end, I'll pay attention to Elfrid Payton because LaMelo is out. They don't have a point guard, right? They might play Payton 25 to 30 minutes, and he can start putting up triple doubles. He can do that. Nick Smith Jr. is another guy. I think they're just going to play him. Another young guy, they're just going to play him. For the Blazers, oh my God, they beat them by 53 points, 88-141. Fernie Simons had a decent 125 points with 5-3. And how about Toumani Camara? He's a plus 45 in his 28 minutes. 10 rebounds, 4 3, 6 assists. He's absolutely must roster. Jeremy Grant somehow had 4 steals here, 8 points. I just don't know why they're giving him minutes. You should give those minutes to Danny Advia, but Chauncey Billups gotta, they gotta fake an injury or something and not play Jeremy Grant, all their minutes. And Scoot Henderson only gets 20 minutes. They just don't want to. Maybe if Fernie Simons is out, then for sure he's gonna start popping off. And he and Fernie Simons, they don't fit well together, so that's the problem. So you either take away minutes from Fernie Simons, or you don't want to play both of them together in most situations. So that's really the issue. They obviously want to develop him the most. And Donovan, he's starting, but only gets 20 minutes. 5 rebounds, 4 for 4 from the field, that's still a block. It's great. He's a must roster, even just 20 minutes. But if he ever played 30, it's like he's gonna be a top 20 player because just the number of blocks he would get. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.